Welcome back into Uptown Charlotte. The ACC Tip Off rolls on as we have all of our head coaches, lots of players joining us throughout the day here in Uptown Charlotte. And we are joined right now by Florida State head coach Leonard Hamilton. And Coach, great to see you and chat with you. I want to talk basketball, but I'm telling you, we can't talk about you without talking about the gospel that you sang to us the last time we had you on. Coach, you're always such a good mood.
I was just rolling. I felt in the spirit.
You did. You bring a lot of joy. I know your guys love to play for you, and as you get ready for this team, I mean, third straight Sweet 16 appearance, and I know you have a lot of momentum from that still, but how are you feeling about your guys?
I'm really excited. I love this team. I love our potential. I think that we're in a situation where we continue, the guys who are leaving, the culture is at a point where they pass on their wisdom to the guys who are returning, and they pass on to the guys that are coming in. So we're in a good place now, mentally and emotionally.
It really is a program. We think about MJ Walker leaving, Scotty Barnes, Raekwon Gray. Those are big parts of the puzzle. Yeah. But you got a lot of guys still there and a lot of guys coming in, and you're getting a little respect nationally. You're if you're not ranked in the top 20, yeah, finally. I'm saying, but we 2 years ago we had this event. Me and you were talking offset, and I couldn't believe you weren't ranked. But back then, I think we were still trying to grow this thing, or people were trying to not recognize. Yeah. Do you feel like you're getting a little more love? Because we all been saying it, but I feel like the country might be getting it.
Well, what has happened is we in such a rich traditional successful conference with some of the most successful programs in the history of college basketball. So we always have a mountain to climb. When you in a conference with Duke, Carolina, Notre Dame, Louisville, Syracuse, Virginia, North Carolina State, programs that have been successful for years and years and years, and Florida State comes into the league from the Metro, we still got to overcome, we still have a lot of things to overcome. So we have miles to go, and it always keeps us motivated, and we kind of like being in that position.
Okay. Coach, I want to know what guys that you've seen over the offseason have made a huge step for this season coming up.
Well, obviously, when we got Malik Osborne and Anthony Polite coming back, that gives us a lot of stability. Yeah. And we have some really good young players coming in that are still finding their way, still trying to adjust to the system. I think we're going to have a good basketball team. Yeah. And I love this team. I love the quality of our depth. Gosh, Wyatt Wilkes, who's been a role player for us, now he's stepping up. I'm confident that the beat goes on. I think Florida State's here to say. Our players say we're new bloods and we're not going anywhere.
That's for sure. You ain't going anywhere. Coach Greenberg was talking about Caleb Mills. We're going to get to him and transferring in what he can bring. But Raekwon Evans is a guy that I think I'm excited to see. What have you seen in his development this year, and how will he lead this team?
Well, there's no doubt that Raekwon Evans has grown, matured, and he's ready to step up and give us this ability that we need. But the way we play, he plays off the ball, on the ball. We get him in transition. He brings the ball down the court. I think that he's going to give us a great leader for our young guys to emulate.
Speaking of those young guys, you've got 3 guys who are in the top 100. Let's talk about some of those young recruits and who's really stood out to you early.
Well, there's no doubt that, gosh, all 3 of our guys, Warley's done a great job for us. I mean, God, there's no doubt that he is a guy who's prepared. God, Matthew Cleveland, Cam Fletcher, John Butler, those are first-year guys that are coming into our program, and they're really preparing themselves very well. Extremely focused, work very hard, eager to learn, ask a lot of questions.
Coach, goals for this year. You guys have been so good multiple years in a row. You've been good your entire career. What's the goals for this team? Is it championship? Is it Final Four? Is it ACC championship? What do you got?
Well, we never try to put goals in front of us of that magnitude. We want to try to be the best we can be. Our goal is to reach our fullest potential. And you accomplish that by taking no possessions off in practice. And you try to get a little bit better on Monday than you were on Sunday. Try to get a little better on Tuesday than you were on Monday. We try to take it one day at a time. And if we worry about those things we can control, that's our effort, our focus, and our concentration, then we're going to reach our potential, whatever that is.
I like that.
That approach obviously has worked. I mean, 3 straight years in the Sweet 16, only Gonzaga and Michigan can say that as well. Let's talk about Caleb Mills, though. This guy was an American Athletic Conference preseason player of the year last year. He was a bucket getter. He had some COVID issues, some health issues. What does he bring, and how is he kind of folded into the system for you guys?
He brings a level of maturity that's consistent with what we like. He's focused. And actually, he surprised me in some areas. He's more of a complete player. He's just not a bucket getter. He's playing excellent defense. He's giving us good leadership, and he's determined. that he's going to let everyone know that he can defend as well. Matter of fact, one of his jokes is that he's the best defensive player on the team.
Okay.
And he's letting everybody know that, and he's going into practice trying to show us that he's capable of doing that.
Coach Ham, you have won 25 straight ACC games at home. I mean, it is an impressive record. You're one away from tying the record at 26. What is it about that place that your guys just show up day in and day out?
Well, it's not necessarily the place. Is that I think our guys take a lot of pride in trying to find a niche that would give them an opportunity to earn their rightful place in the hierarchy of the successful traditional programs in the ACC. So we are focused. There's no doubt about that. And that's a tremendous accomplishment for our players. We realize we stand on the shoulders of some guys who have helped build this program up to that point, and we want to make sure we keep that legacy going.
Coach, I want to ask about Cleveland. We were talking about Mills earlier. They say Cleveland is going to be a special player for you. What does he do for you guys?
Well, he has the full package. But the thing that separates Cleveland from most young players is his focus. Now, he's a straight-A student.
That's
tremendous
great.
high character, tremendous work ethic. He never takes any possessions off. He probably asks more questions than anybody on the team. He's humble. He's not one of those guys who coming in with any type of entitlement. He is really, really a very focused guy. And I know we expected him to have a good season. Yeah.
Coach, the way you play, obviously, so deep. So many guys have to be selfless. That's part of your program. You got to give for the greater good. But last year, you guys can't really have the same level of camaraderie off the court. You couldn't spend as much time with them. How different has this year been, kind of getting back to what your team is about, being a family?
You are on point there. It was challenging for our team last year because we play a little bit more of a read and react type of offensive system, and you got to know each other, know the timing, know the spacing, and understand the strengths and weaknesses of your teammates. We didn't get a chance to develop that very much last year, and I'm really excited about the work we got in the spring and the summer, now going into the fall. I think we're a lot more prepared. We're not there yet. I don't want to give you any illusion, but we have work in progress. And we have not even come close to reaching our potential. But I like the fact that we've had them together, and they understand more and more the direction we're trying to move our program in. And I feel very confident that when the season starts, we'll be ready to compete.
Coach, we talk a lot about how the landscape of college athletics is changing, and this is certainly a different year with the transfers and then with NIL. What has it been like for you guys as you kind of navigate that new space?
Well, I'm trying to be patient and evaluate the direction, what direction we're going in, because we have a lot of things changing. The NIL, the portal, the one and dones, the number of guys who are leaving early. Whenever you have a scenario where you have 250 guys, when you have that many more guys going hardship that are underclassmen, then you have spots to be drafted when you only got 60 spots. We're placing so much emphasis on the overtime league, the one and done, the portal, that we've kind of lost sense of what we're supposed to be doing is getting our education. I'm very proud of the fact that we've only had 2 guys now graduate in 20 years I'm there. I'd like to see us get back to really focusing on creating a more atmosphere that's focused on these guys preparing themselves for life after basketball, and not as much about, how quick can I get to the point where I can start making money playing basketball, because you don't have that many jobs available. And somehow or another, we've got this confused a little bit.
Coach Hamilton, one of the college football, college basketball greats, and Coach, we really appreciate the time. And looking forward to talking with your players a little while later here on 2:45.
And hear more gospel at a later show.
You want to sing us to break or what?
I'm a little hoarse.
Make sure you're in tip-top shape. We'll get you some.
Let me know so I can take some hot tea so I can have my voice ready.
Next time.